Hello and welcome to Todd's Aquatics. Today I'm just doing a short update on the Cory Tanks that I moved to the new apartment. The actual layout hasn't changed a whole lot. I've moved a few fish around. But if we start here with the top 20 long, I've got some laser corridors in here along with some of the orange whiptail catfish. You see they're chewing away at the log, and they like this little gump of cryptocorin here. I also have in here, if they'll come out and show themselves, some yellowfin cories. There's one there, it looks like, and maybe one in the corner. I've got a group of about 6 of those and about 6 of the lasers. And there's a Malini back there. There's a small group of about 5 of those. And then there's a couple albino corridors, if they'll show themselves. There's one back there. Those are actually some of my older corridors. I've only got 2 of the albinos, but they're both about 3 years old now. And there's a laser right there. And moving on down to the middle tank, this is where I house most of my longfin paleatus or salt and pepper cories. Tank still needs some work, but I've got it moved down here. Everyone's safe, happy, and healthy, which is always good. It's a group of about 12 of these in here, and I have bred those. I'll actually be showing you the babies here in just a second. And I've also got some Venezuelan cories in here, if we see any of those in here hiding around. They're a little harder to see. There's a couple right there kind of in the center, but they're kind of hard to see underneath the tree stump there. I just use pool filter sand and a couple branches with some anubias on it. I don't get it too complicated in case I want to get in there and grab some of these fish to try to breed them or whatnot. Now this tank also has my calico long fins in it. It looks like there's one in the corner that I can kind of see over here. Let's see if we can get a better shot of him. No, I'm not really going to get a better shot of him, it doesn't look like. But there are 3 of those in there. I think I've got 2 males and 1 female. And then there are a couple other just regular brown ancestors in there as well. And my bottom tank, same similar setup, the pool sand filter, a couple sticks with some anubias on them. The anubias isn't looking real good. I need to get in there and trim some of it off. But anyways, it is what it is. I've got some Nana cores in there, which you can see right there. And then there are some orange Aeneas cories in there as well. I'm not really seeing any of those right now. They're in there hiding. There's about 6, I believe, of each one. And then there's also some giant autosynclus in here somewhere, if I can spot him. I don't see him anywhere right now either, but he is in there. There's actually 2 of them in there. Of course, they don't want to show up when the camera's out. Anyways, there are the 3 main tanks. And here is the 40 grow out, which used to be my show tank, which we moved to that 75. And so these little guys were in a 10 gallon, now have a 40 gallon to grow out and get nice and big. There's about 100 longfin paleatus in there, and then I'm growing out some adelphus to eventually breed. You can see some of them in the corner there. They're not big enough yet, but they're growing. This tank I kept really simple. I just have some dragonstone at the bottom. There's one Anacistrus pleco in there, so I have a cave for him. And then a lot of the cryptocorin I didn't end up using, but I didn't want to throw it away, so I threw it in the top of this tank until I find another use for it, which I'm sure I will at some point. It's always good to have extra plants on hand than to not have them on hand. And then moving on up from there, we have the Shelly tank, which I've already shown, but it is settling in good. I've got everyone kind of has situated themselves. I do have one female that is guarding the entrance to one of the shells, so I'm hoping we get some babies before too long out of that. And you see her there. See if I can zoom in on her a little bit so you can get an idea of how she guards the... And then the main tank is looking really sharp. I'm really happy with this tank. Everything seems to be growing good and seems to be happy and healthy. The plants, the algae is actually clearing up on them, which is good. Still some there, obviously, but it is clearing up. The rotulifundia is growing. It's up at least a couple inches from the last video. But everything is just happy and healthy in here, so I'm very happy with that. And I have added back in a couple of my panda cories in here. There's one in the very back there on the filter, you can see. And I've still got a few to add back. I'm just trying to decide which ones I want to put in here, because once I put them in there I can't really catch them out without tearing the tank down, which I don't want to do. So anyways, that's all I've got for now. I appreciate you watching. If you liked, please like and subscribe. I do have another project coming up where I am going to set up a 20-gallon tank from start to finish to show everyone how I do my tanks when I set them up. I keep things pretty simple. Simple, stupid, as they say. And I will be back with that video in about a week. So please look forward to that. And again, if you like, please like and subscribe.